plant of the day today is this beautiful big beastie here. This is called Bupleurum fruticosum. And when you see the word fruticosa or fruticosum in a plant name, it means that it's a shrubby variety rather than a perennial or an annual. This one is quite rapid in growth. I don't know if you can see, I can't really get in there. There's a ton of wasps on this thing right now. I'm guessing that the queens are not feeding their babies anymore, not making babies anymore, and so these guys have been kicked out of their nests. So they're desperate for food, and apparently this one is offering food. But anyway, so I can't get in there. That's what that was all about. I lost track. In the middle there, probably about 16 inches from the ground, is where I cut it back to last year. So this is all this year's growth, pretty much. I'm going to move it. It's a full sun shrub, but I'm going to move it in a spot where it can grow big and strong and proud and not be right in front of my window. It's kind of, I knew it would get big and I could probably keep it smaller by pruning it, but I would like to actually see it grow to its mature size and take off. It's quite lovely. The foliage is dark and very glossy, and then it's set off by these beautiful sort of chartreuse green flowers. I'm sort of iffy about umbels in general, this type of flowering shape. It depends entirely on whether or not the foliage is worth it for the umbels. This one I really like. I think it's really unique looking, and that's of course what my whole garden is about, pretty much. Excuse me, sorry, I just sneezed before I made this video, so I'm sniffling and stuff. But anyway, so in terms of growth, height, it can get to 8 feet tall. So yeah, pretty skookum size. You can prune it hard though, as I mentioned. So if you want it to stay in a smaller spot, or like this is quite like leggy. So if you prune it after flowering, and then again, if you want, you can prune it again later to keep it smaller. You can do that as well. It is under the eaves in kind of crappy soil, although I fed it horse manure last year, and I think that's part of the reason it's grown like 4 feet this summer. But they're good for like a droughty condition. The Bupleurums in general are very good for drought. The annuals, the perennials, I have a perennial in the back that's really quite lovely in a very dry spot. And the same with this one. It will, of course, perform better with a little bit of nutrition and some water, but it doesn't need a lot. It's good for hot, dry, well-drained, although I very much doubt it cares what kind of soil it is, except maybe not bog. Doesn't like the bog. Oh, what else can I say about this beauty here? You know, I asked you guys about ideas for what to put in these videos, but remembering that list is not happening. So a format may not actually work after all. It might just have to be whatever I remember about it. Companion planting? I don't fucking know. Like, whatever will maybe support these heavy umbels when it's blooming. Maybe rhododendrons or something. I don't know. The chartreuse is really nice with like a magenta, and that might actually look really nice with a dark the dark foliage. Boy, that was hard to get out. God, I have had my coffee and no, I'm not stoned. Okay, well, in terms of what I have it with a geranium. The Bevan's variety, which does in fact have a magenta flower. So there you go. And a fern over there, but this is more shade. This is more sun. So if you, I don't recommend putting it into shade. I'm going to put it into a spot that gets some shade, and it might get a little too leggy. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, enough of that rambling. Bupleurum fruticosum.